Well, even as pro-Spain protesters called for Catalan leaders Carles Puigdemont to be jailed, Spain's envoy to India, Jose Ramon Barrano, spoke exclusively to WION's Ramesh Ramachandran and said that Puigdemont cannot contest the December 21st Catalan election if the judiciary finds him guilty of the coup d'etat.
From a political point of view, there is no reason why not. Okay. The only thing will depend on the judiciary, because many of the action taken by the government could be considered a rebellion and even a coup d'etat. So, but in this sense, it's not the government who's going to decide. Are the judges, is the Supreme Court who's going to decide if he's going to be prosecuted or not. And if he's going to be prosecuted, normally he will not be able to run for the elections.
Ambassador, you mentioned about the economy. Now, again, with the benefit of hindsight, when you look back at the events, do you think the trigger for this referendum or this call for independence could be the economic recession, or do you think this is more political?
I would have to go a little bit back, and I would need to talk about nationalism, which is a problem, which is not a problem only in Spain, which is a problem spreading all over Europe, no? Right. And this has a lot to do with nationalism. Separatism is just nationalism. But the question is not that it's not, as they say, it's something that is we are going to integrate. On the contrary, nationalism is disintegrating, is willing to disintegrate, no? Nothing to do. The problem is that at one moment, this nationalism, which is the danger of nationalism, become irrational. When nationalism turns into a religion, then there are no rules, no economic rules, not political rules, not cultural rules. No? Right. The question is, I want this, doesn't matter if my country is broken, doesn't matter if the families are broken, doesn't matter anything. That's the problem when a nationalism, instead of being a political issue, becomes almost a fanatic or religious issue.
Ambassador, talking about the lessons learned, now we know India and Spain have enjoyed good relations over the decades. And we talk about India in particular. India is a union of states, a multi-linguistic, multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. At some level, do you think Spain and Europe at large can learn something from the Indian experience?
The biggest lesson is that a state or a nation does not mean one language, one culture, and one ethnic. India is a perfect example of people with 22 different languages or more, 29 states. I don't know how many religions, but 3, 4, 5 big religions, and they are united, and they feel, all of them feel themselves Indian, no? And of course, they can be from A, from B to C, but this is a lesson to learn. If a country with 1.4 million people can be united with such much disparities, we with two disparities, how can we just fight against each other?